Welcome back to the jungle, gardeners. I should have started this video earlier before I did a bunch of stuff, but I didn't think to because I was just busy trying to accomplish a lot in the garden this weekend. Anyway, see how nice this trail looks? It did not look like that nice yesterday or last weekend after the tropical storm, all the rain, and just a little bit of wind. This whole trail was pretty collapsed in with a lot of growth. The plants grow crazy. We got, I don't know, probably about 10 inches total from that storm, so plant growth went crazy. We got a lot of stuff to clean up, so as you can see here, we're putting all the stuff we're trimming into the beds to start our lasagna method to renew the soil for this fall. And what I've been doing today is dealing with bananas. So unfortunately I already harvested them before I did the video, and then I thought later, oh, I should have shown that. Anyway, these are not the ones I harvested. These are some bananas that are just starting to fruit, just started to bloom about 2 weeks ago, and I'm probably going to cut off the bloom end soon. So once it gets finished putting on fruits, which it is pretty much here, these are not fruits, these are just flowers that aren't going to be fruits. This is the time to cut off the flower. You want to cut the flower off at the base. That helps the fruits to start ripening a lot faster. So as long as you keep this bloom on, it's going to be putting a lot of energy into blooming, and you don't need it to be putting that energy into that. You want it to start put energy into making these fruits nice and big and beautiful and edible. So I can go ahead and trim this off, and then you can use that flour for eating for people who cook banana flowers. I still haven't figured out how to. I have eaten banana flowers that other people cooked, but I'm afraid to try that on my own yet. So I've just been composting the flowers when I take them off. And behind it is the banana plant that I harvested the fruits from. I'll show you those fruits. So this is the bunch that I harvested off that plant, and normally I would have waited longer. I like to wait till the first fruit turns yellow before I harvest. You can also harvest as soon as the fruits are filled out. So they tend to have these kind of square edges when they're unripe. Once it's filled out and perfectly rounded, that's when you want to harvest. Or you can be like me, wait till you see that first fruit. It's usually one fruit will turn yellow before the rest. That's when I harvest it, bring it inside, let them yellow. But the reason I didn't wait with this is because something weird is happening that I've never seen before. They're splitting and they're rotting. See, that fruit is completely rotted because they're just splitting open and more fruits are splitting. I'm imagining that's from all the rain we've had, but none of the other trees have done that. This one must be in just an extra wet spot. Yeah, look at all that splitting. It's pretty gross. This variety is a dwarf Cavendish, and this is our first time getting fruits from our dwarf Cavendish. The other varieties we have, the ice cream banana or blue java, and one that's more of a plantain style, they don't have this issue. So it seems to be this variety that has this splitting and rotting before it ripens issue. Not fond of it, probably not going to keep going with this variety. Probably I'll dedicate more space to the blue java that does really well and doesn't do this weird thing. So probably at least half of these fruits are going to be lost to splitting and rotting. And I don't know if the rest will be very good since I had to pick them earlier. These are not nearly as rounded and filled out as I wanted before I harvested, but I just feared if I left it on the plant much longer, the fruits would continue, more would split and rot. So we'll see what happens. But the way I harvested is I just went up and I cut it off the plant using my handy dandy handsaw here. That's my best way of getting the banana fruits off. So just to demonstrate, I'm not harvesting this one, but if I were, because this is a dwarf Cavendish, I can reach it. The plant is as tall as I am, maybe a little bit taller. I would just saw it right off there. Let it crash to the ground. If you have someone to catch it for you, that's better, because you will lose some bananas when it crashes to the ground. And now the trick is, once you've harvested the fruits, like I did from that plant, you cut it down. That plant is not going to fruit again. That one's done. You cut it down and let all that energy go to the other plants that are with it in this grouping so they can start blooming. Now I've heard that until you kill that one plant that was fruiting, no other plants will bloom, but that has not been the case because this guy started blooming before I cut that one down, obviously. It's been blooming for a few weeks and that guy still had fruit on it, so I did start cutting it down. I'll finish it later, but once you get the fruit off, you can go ahead and cut down that plant. I've been doing it in sections, sawing off a section at a time. I'll section it all the way to the bottom, put the leaves and the cut sections of the banana plant here at the base of the plant to break down and send those nutrients right back to this group of plants to grow more bananas. No need to waste the nutrients, we're just gonna leave them right here. So I'll get busy with that later. And you can see here, there's another pup coming up. That'll be another banana plant later. And then, so this guy's blooming now. Maybe in a month or two, this other guy will start blooming too. That'd be great to have a constant supply of fruit. Hopefully these ones don't have that same issue, but they're being weird. This dwarf Cavendish variety, this blossom end doesn't want to fall off the way it does so nicely on the other ones. I tried trimming some off earlier and they were just bleeding sap like crazy, so maybe I shouldn't have done that. But that's where the splitting started in those other bananas, so I'm worried about this weird thing with this variety where these little blossom ends are not falling off, and they are full of aphids, happy aphids and happy ants that are farming those aphids. Okay, and up here is where I already started working on cutting down one of the banana plants today. You can see I'm just putting the parts of its body, its banana body, the plant down here at the base to break down and become mulch and nutrients. This is one of our blue Java banana plants that's doing really great. Took the fruit off about 2 weeks ago, and we just put the last of the fruits into the freezer. We'll use them for smoothies that we have every morning, homegrown smoothies, and banana bread if we have enough extra. But that's that one. I still have some more to remove, and then you're supposed to stab the heart of the plant or something to kill it so the other plants will fruit. But again, here's this base of plants. That guy right there, look at that. It's blooming before I even killed the other plant off. So that might be a myth where people say you have to kill the plant before another one will bloom. Doesn't seem to be true with our bananas this year. But yeah, this is one of our happiest bunches of bananas. Bunches, what's the word I'm looking at? Groups. Anyway, this one we just planted here on a whim. Didn't even think it'd be happy. We don't put mulch here. Don't fertilize it. Don't water it like they say you should do with bananas. Like, oh, bananas need all kinds of water and nutrients, but it's been really happy, and it gave us a beautiful bunch of fruits. I'm sure we could get a lot more fruits a lot more frequently if we did fertilize and water it. But that's, you know, do you need that many fruits? We're not farming for profit. We're farming for fun. So probably not going to add fertilizer and water just to get more bananas, because we're not greedy. And lastly, I'll show you, this is the bed that we prepared. Is that 2 weeks ago? Sounds about right, 2 weeks ago maybe. And you can see it's already fallen quite a bit. And I'm adding more yard waste that I pruned stuff today. So I'm adding that on top of the little lasagna I've already made. But it's already collapsed, probably like 6 inches. Things are already breaking down. And there's a squash plant, volunteer squash plant growing there. Probably a butternut, because that's what we had recently in the compost. And yeah, we're getting to cooking here. And in a month or two, we should be starting some veggie plants. This is usually the time when we would start seeds, but it's just been so hot and humid and with the threat of storms, I don't want to have plants that I have to hide in the garage during a hurricane if we get one. Let's hope not. All right, guys, no hurricanes here. Send them somewhere else. Let them be a fish storm. But that's what's going on here. It's banana time. We're having a really good year for bananas. We haven't had a year this good ever. So really happy about that, because we love our homegrown bananas. And hope you guys are inspired to try growing bananas and not scared off by all the internet advice saying you need to fertilize and water them to get any fruit. You just need to fertilize and water if you're trying to grow for a profit and want as many fruits as possible. But if you have, you know, a yard where you let the nutrient cycle continue by keeping nutrients in your yard, you know, keeping the yard waste here, mulching, chop and drop, putting compost at the base of your plants, you don't need to worry about it as much. Okay, so, and remember, this is zone 10, Southwest Florida, where we get approximately 52 inches of rain per year. So if you're somewhere else, don't take this advice. If you're in a different climate, this advice is not for you. Sorry. Okay, happy gardening. See you guys later.